What's up, guys? How you going? Thanks for tuning in. How you doing, Jeffrey? Let's Mars, Honest AF, Philip. Bit of a later start today, so sorry about that if you were expecting me to come on an hour before, but that's all good. We're here now. I'll let a few more people rock up before I get stuck into it. Just gonna turn this fan off, actually. What's up, Dan? Fix these levels here, volume wise. All right, the weekend, hey? So we're currently sitting through another weekend. Low volume as expected. Let's just see how Saturday went here. So yesterday, drawdown of 1.2%. So not that bad. The volume candle being fairly low here, the volume bar rather. All of last week, this week that's just gone seems to have produced like a nice little rally up, and now we seem to be like consolidating into a pennant right now. You know, triangle type formation, some kind of a wedge. So let me just turn the volume back off again. So I feel like potentially we won't see a break in this pennant until Monday morning at some point. Forex for me opens an hour before the daily candle close. So tomorrow morning, we'll see the DXY moving again. It rounded out the week last week, back down here. So this candle here was pretty impressive. I think that was off the back of a report that came out. Let me just get up the calendar just to see what report that was. Okay, so let's go back to the previous week. I think it was this core PCE potentially, or no, that's right. It was the manufacturing and the non-farm unemployment change, earnings, and the unemployment rate. So this week coming up, we've got, what is this thing here? This is ISM, so the Institute for Supply Management. That's considered a high impact event. So that's happening Tuesday my time, so probably like Tuesday morning for you guys in the US. I'll go back and change this so that you can see this in Eastern time zone. So you guys are -5 at the moment, aren't you? Because of daylight savings. All right, I'll go back to the calendar. So it's currently what, Sunday. Oh, you guys are Saturday night, 8 p.m. Saturday night. Okay. So you guys are in this area here. So coming up, so Monday at 10 a.m. we get the ISM Purchasing Managers Index. It's a leading indicator of economic health. Businesses react quickly to market conditions, and their purchasing managers hold perhaps the most current and relevant insight into the company's view of the economy. Okay. So the last report of that came in negative, so lower than forecast. Forecast this time around is 53.5. So if we get this lower than forecast, it'll be bad for currency, which means the dollar index, right? So wherever currency takes a hit, it has a positive effect on risk markets, so like equities and crypto. So you can see, oh, super chat. Hey Noodle, $2 cheeseburger. Yeah. I wouldn't mind going for a cheeseburger right now, or a Whopper. A Whopper. Maybe later. CPI, so we're still waiting for the forecast for CPI. Now, of full credit to a guy called Measured Kev in our community. He brought to my attention a website called trueflation.com, and basically it forecasts the inflation rate in basically a live kind of view. Let me just find that website and I'll show you it. So Measured Kev, full credit to you for bringing it up. He's in B's Discord, Measured Kev. Where's the website? Let me just find it. Okay, found it. Just come across here to another browser and I'll bring it across. Okay, I'll just put it on dark mode for you guys. All right, so if you come down here, the current inflation figure that we've been given by the government is 7.7%. So reported by, I guess it's the Fed. I'm not sure who puts out that report, but either way, it's 7.7%. We've got year-over-year inflation. Trueflation's coming in with a current reading of 6.5% as of the 4th of December. So that's, you know, today. That's what they're sort of forecasting. And you can see their forecast compared to what actually came in, the reported rate. So that, you know, all of this year, the end of last year and all of this year, they've actually been reporting or predicting higher inflation than it is actually coming in at. So if they're pulling in a reading for November, which is what the December report looks back to, right? That's why this line is like back in October still. If we go to November, say roughly this time November, so the report comes out, let's see, when did it come out last time? October Let me go to the CPI. Sorry, 1 second. November 10, October 13. Okay. So the 13th of October, it's just there, 8.1%. And the November reading came in at, where's year over year? 7.7%. So it was down off the forecast of 7.9. Now I don't know if the forecast is pulled from this website, like from these guys, but yeah, to see that they're forecasting this massive drop here in inflation, that is good news. Like that's optimistic, right? So if the pattern continues here, even if the actual rate that comes out, the CPI rate, and matches this, that's still good. And you know, if we follow the trajectory here, it overshoots a little. So yeah, that long story short, that's looking optimistic, in my opinion. So let's go back to the charts then. And all right, let's just jump back into Dogecoin for the moment. And did I say Dogecoin? I meant Bitcoin, sorry. I'll look at Doge in a minute, but we've been forming this pennant structure since, well, the first touch here is on the 1st of December. We've come up, tagged the top, tagged the bottom, and then tagged another high. So that's given us these lines to project forward and created like a consolidation. It seems to be the case, like over the weekend, consolidating into something, like squeezing, seems to be the trend of when we get the weekend, right? The low volatility, the low volume. And, you know, come Monday, Tuesday, you know, maybe even before that, like we may get a break out of this before the weekend's through. But it's certainly, it's looking exciting. If we look at the textbook pattern, this is a bull pennant, right? Consolidation inside a pennant, squeezing down, and you know, obviously this isn't a guarantee, but this is what the textbooks suggest happens outside of this kind of shape. Now, there's every chance that it could fail, of course, and you know, maybe we come down to test a previous low. So if we do a fib retracement from this low here up to this high, might be able to see if price found support at any sort of key level here. So, you know, we still haven't even come down through the 382 that convincingly yet. Yeah, there was a wick through it here. It found support and moved higher, but yeah, it's very interesting to see that it's pulled up where it has. Anyway, if I do a more short-term Fibonacci retracement, it looks like it went down as deep as the 786 here, and it's found support, and it's now moving up to test. So with that in mind, I'll jump down to the 1 hour chart, and I'm going to take this move from the top here down to this low and see what kind of resistances we're going to be dealing with as we're moving up. So this 382 retest would be a test of these highs here. And, you know, I think it's fairly reasonable to see that price may come up and tag the top here of this trend line. And if it does, that might be an opportunity either to wait for confirmation, like the breakout of the pennant, and then back test as support potentially. And then, you know, if we find support and move up, that may be an area to think about going long, right? However, if we get rejected by this resistance, even if we come up this high, right, that could be an opportunity to get in a short position, so to trade short and then ride it back down. But yeah, pretty much how you can play the price in these kind of situations where they get into a consolidation. All right, now let's have a look at what the oscillators are saying. So at least as far as the hourly is concerned, we're on like a momentum downswing. So the momentum has come off and it's cooled right down. RSI has come down some. It's currently sitting at more of a neutral zone right now, just back here. So we may get a different story of, well, obviously we will on the 4 hour. Let me delete that squiggle. So we've got a couple of buy signals down here on the 1 hour. And, you know, RSI has had a chance to cool over the last few hours there. 4 hour, we're still correcting off this push high up here. That's what this is depicting. To where it finds support and moves up again. You know, maybe it does find support off 50 here, the 50 line on the RSI. But otherwise, yeah, the momentum on the 4 hour on the cipher indicator is not really telling too much. It's kind of, you know, these waves, this wave especially has been quite small in momentum. But these two were nice and big. So we're certainly this is showing that we're definitely squeezing. The momentum is squeezing down, and there will be some kind of breakout around the corner in the not too distant future. So whether that's up or down, I guess we'll have to wait for confirmation on that, to what side of this pennant we break. Just go back to this view here. All right, let's have a look at Doge. So the start of today's price action right here. So it started off with a strong push up. I think, you know, potentially there was something Elon Musk related on Twitter. I'm not sure, but haven't really looked into that too deeply. But yeah, once again, it's finding support on structure here. You can see this trend line has been in play for some time. So it's just another example of price coming back to meet support on that trend. And we have since bounced. We're back above 10 cents, which is good. We've been sort of dancing around 10 cents for a couple of days now. And we're just going to see if we get the permission to move higher. But overall, like if we zoom out on the 1 hour chart, you can see we're in like a rising wedge type structure, which is bearish. But there is still a chance that we come to test the top again. So from here, you know, maybe Doge does come back up to 11.5 cents roughly. And then, you know, if we find resistance there, maybe that's where we come down to break the structure. Because look, we certainly did it back here, right? We didn't spend a hell of a lot of time in this wedge, this rising wedge. It was only, you know, a couple of touches here and there, and then we started hitting resistance and failed and fell out the bottom side. So that was like I guess you could say that's a textbook rising wedge, a bearish pattern, right? But the fashion that we've entered this rising wedge is different, the direction, right? So we've entered from below. We've come into it from this direction. Whereas this one, we came into it off a drop. So when that's the scenario, you know, that's bearish because obviously the trend is down. There's a lot of, there's I guess the current of the price. The direction of the price is flowing down, so getting a breakdown is more likely than a failure and then going up, right? Than an invalidation. But now that, you know, now that we've come up from off an uptrend and now we're building this potential rising wedge, then that maybe has a fighting chance of invalidating the wedge because just of the direction we've come up into it. But yeah, don't count on that. Like, wait for the clean break of this structure before, you know, you decide or, take a trade or that kind of thing. Not financial advice, but just consider those things. All right, now I'm just gonna check also. So this Sunday is like so far shaping up to be potentially a green day. But just remember, it is a Sunday, so the volume's not going to be that amazing. So yeah, I wouldn't expect any kind of double digits by any means for returns out of this. But just going to have a look at the overall altcoin market here. So this is just arranged by what's falling the heaviest. BSV Fit Dogecoin is actually off to a really good start today, so this could be a decent day for Doge. And that may lend credibility to this kind of move up, right? This is the hypothesis of a retest of the top of this structure. Yet to be seen, so just be careful with that. Don't count on it, but because there are a lot of pivots here that we would have to deal with. We'd have to break above all of these in order to even think about coming up to test up here. So, being a Sunday, low volume, keep it real. Try to keep it real is my advice there. Not advice. Okay, I have to be careful with my wording here. I don't want to give advice on what to do. This is just what I'm seeing. So take it with a grain of salt, but yeah, this is basically, that's what this channel's all about. It's just teaching you market structure, what trend we may or may not be in, and about the technical indicators. So we've got oscillators and then moving averages, of course. But for the most part, yeah, that's do with this knowledge and this information what you will. Like if you take a position, you go for it. Dan, yeah, I already took a position. All right. So now, good thing about Doge right now is on the 1 hourly chart, we're up on top and we're very healthily holding support of the 200 EMA. You can see that here. So not only are we finding support on this trend line here, but we're riding this EMA. And, we're back up on top of the shorter EMAs as well. So that's a good start. It's looking okay. We'll check the higher time frames though. So we're on top of things on the 4 hour. We're on top of things on the daily. The weekly, I don't think we even have 200 weeks of data yet to be able to see where the 200 EMA is. But yeah, I think things are looking kind of good for Doge right now. Just going off EMAs strictly. Like the market structure is certainly, looking interesting, optimistic, I think. The big tell or the big hint to say that that's changed and that we're gonna go down is if we break out of this trend and we lose the support of the 200, that's when okay, change your outlook, we're heading down. The conditions have changed, but so far the conditions are okay. We're holding support. So with that in mind, I'm going to move back to Bitcoin and turn the EMAs on there too. It's a totally different story. We're below the 200 on the 4 hour. We're only sort of just maintaining some kind of support on the 20 EMA, and we're above the 50. On the 1 hour, we're looking okay. There is, we seemingly have broken below the EMAs here, and it's causing resistance. So we, to try and get back up on top of things, price would need to come up and break above 17,000 again here. But yeah, it is still early days. It's only what, an hour and 20 minutes into the new candle, so the new daily. But let's go back down to the 15-minute. So yeah, this is all very choppy. Not the best sort of conditions to trade in on these time frames, but I mean, scalping though, like if you're down on like say like the 1 minute, that's a different story again. So it really depends on the time frame you're on as to how long, like, you know, your trades are open, that kind of thing. But no, we're currently on a little bit of a push here, back to 16,980. Let's just see how this develops. See if we can maintain some kind of a trend going forward here. So I'll put the question to you guys. What do you think is going to happen for the rest of Sunday here? I mean, we just took a massive leg up there, which is interesting to say the least. I think, you know, my feeling would be a retest at least of this trend line is on the cards. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Even if it's just a wick and a rejection, then yeah, so be it. But yeah, today's off to an okay start. We're 0.66% up. We'll see if it turns out just being a bull trap or a swing failure pattern, a liquidity grab. But overall, like, yeah, I can't help but see a bull pennant here on the higher time frame, right? This higher structure to me looks like, you know, if it's not going to break out off a rejection support there, it may even do it sooner than that. So I might put a poll out to you guys, like, what do you think we're going to do? Do you think we're going to break out of this? Like a textbook breakout bull pennant? Or are we going to break down? So I'll put let me just write this poll up. Bitcoin. Will BTC break up? Wait, let me pose the question differently. How will BTC break out of this pennant? I'll put up or down. So cast your votes. G'day Jack, how you doing, mate? Jeff, how are you, mate? Interesting move, huh? So far, 3 people have voted and they think we're going to break down out of this this pennant structure. Interesting, interesting. It's, you know, it's just awesome to see a little bit of movement for, you know, this whole area here, this zone that we were stuck in was very boring. Things were pretty flat, low volatility, but yeah, we're getting actually like a little Sunday kick. Or Saturday night for you guys in the US, right? Saturday evening. But yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how we treat, or how Bitcoin treats this line here that I have, this yellow line. And it's approaching it pretty quick. I don't know what's going on, but if there's any kind of like news event, or like whether it's just purely a technical move. I mean, just judging off this TA here, it seems to be just a natural technical move, right? We've found support, price moves up off the support. Where are we going to find resistance? It may be off this pivot here, which coincides with like finding resistance in this area. Or we could push up to this previous high here, which would put us up at around 17,180-ish, 85. So yeah, let's see how this develops. We got 8 votes. 75% of people think we're going to break out of this pennant to the upside. We will see. We'll see. If you take like a measure of the pennant, like a center line, which has to be at an angle if we're going to keep it like equilateral, right? Something like this is like an even cut of that wedge. Price has spent a lot more time on the bottom side of this pennant formation so far. There's only been a couple of instances where we've come up above that center line. So it's yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see. Usually when price spends longer on the lower side of a pattern, at least from my experience of what I've seen, is that it tends to fail or break down. Ah, super chat. Grade A music. Thank you. Appreciate the support. Thanks, dude. $10. That's a big one. I'll put it toward the gear that I've recently bought. I bought a light. Let me see if I can show you my setup here. Okay, 1 second. I'll just grab the camera. Now it's probably going to like just go blank because it's currently on like a mask mode where it's masking everything out unless it sees me. But I'll turn that off so you can see my setup. So I bought the camera recently. That was like $100. And I bought this light. This is like a little USB LED light. And it's got a little switch up here. So I've got like off, on. I can increase the brightness. I can lower it. I can change it from like white to like, well, you probably can't see it very well, but it changes like how cold it is, how cold the light is. So that's like an orange light, middle tone, and then white. Yeah, fun little light there. What else did I do? I set up like I bought a black sheet, which I think is probably the wrong color because I tend to wear like dark clothes, and I think it confuses the camera because it can't differentiate between my shirt and the background. So I'm thinking maybe of going back to the shops and getting like maybe a green sheet or a blue sheet. I don't want white though, because that messes with the exposure. I noticed like it was making me appear darker. I don't know. Well, I'll have to test a couple of different colors out. But yeah, that's it. Let me turn this masking back on. There we go. All right. I'll have to awkwardly adjust this while it's on. There we go. So turn this brightness down again. There we go. Jack says, start an experimental trading account funded by super chats. Yeah, could do that. I could do like a live trading account that you see the progress of a trade on these streams. Yeah, I've thought about something like that, but as far as trading goes and like strategy, I've only ever done like small scalps live. I haven't done like, I've never shown my account or like what I'm doing. And reason being is because I don't want to be a bad influence to you guys if I'm wrong, right? That's why, it is dangerous showing trades to people, because they may, you know, back up. They may jump on the same boat as you, and there's every chance that I could be wrong with my trade. So it's dangerous in that regard. I don't want to like put you guys into a loss or anything like that. So I try to keep it to technical analysis. Maybe when I'm becoming like when I sort of get more of a handle on strategy and trading, and I'm being like my strike rate improves. Maybe that's when I'll sort of come online and show you guys what I'm doing. But until then, yeah, I think I'll just keep it to technical analysis for now. But yeah, this channel, it could head in that direction. I don't know. We'll see. Trading and technical analysis are two very different things. Two different sort of skills. You can be bad at TA but really good at strategy and risk management and trading. I'm kind of the other way around. I'm better at technical analysis than I am trading. I'm still developing my skills with trading and strategy. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of like experimental things at the moment with how I'm getting into the market, how I'm like what my plans are moving forward for like into the next 12 months. But yeah, yeah, I'm thinking like maybe I will show you guys the result of that when it happens, and then turn it into like a teaching opportunity. But for now, I'll just keep it to analysis of price and of direction and charts for now. So yeah, I mean, this is the weekend, isn't it? There's not a whole lot of movement usually over the weekend. The volume's usually low, so any kind of move, like, it doesn't usually sustain for that long. It really depends. Like, if you get an event that happens over the weekend, like say FTX, like if that was to happen on a Saturday, obviously that's going to bring volume up because there's going to be a lot of action on the markets. So until something happens, your weekends are going to be pretty flat, you know, pretty uneventful. Anyway, I think, what time is it? We've gone for about 38 minutes this stream so far. Probably going to wrap it up there. There's not too much to cover. Just mainly, it was a stream mostly about this pennant and whether we're going to break the upside or lose it and go down from here. But yeah, hopefully we get a breakout in the next few hours, but we'll see which way it goes. What I might do, I'm going to leave this stream up and just see if anything exciting happens over the next hour. But I'll hop off the camera anyway, and I'll turn the music back up and just let that play out. You guys can type out any questions if you like. I'll probably like respond over voice. But it's good to get this light out of my face for a little bit. Yeah, I'll have to play around a little bit with the setup of this webcam thing, but yeah, it's all fun and games. People need to take personal responsibility for the trades they take. Yeah, that's it, Jack. And yeah, be very careful of any kind of call or advice or trade that you see someone else taking. Like, at the end of the day, like, you are responsible for the trades that you take. And if you're a complete beginner, you want to be practicing all this with a small amount of money, because you are more likely to lose money as you're learning than you are to make money. So it's definitely not easy. It's not easy to just come into this market and start making money. It's very tricky. You have to first not only learn technical analysis, but you want to learn strategy. So trading strategies, risk management, that kind of thing, and you want to be repeating that. You have to be able to repeat that performance over a period of time to prove that you do have the skill to be a profitable trader. So the alternative to that, if trading's not your thing and you're finding that it's a bit tricky to get your head around, or you just don't have the time to do it, you could always be an investor or a long-term swing trader, where you don't have to spend every day looking at charts and shuffling around and opening and closing positions, right? It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. And generally speaking, especially if you're on spot, there's not a whole lot of risk compared with derivatives and like trading leverage, that kind of thing, obviously. So that poll's been interesting. We've had 18 votes. 61% people say that we're going to break up out of this pennant. So that's cool. Fairly quiet stream today. I think the peak we hit was 24 people. So that's cool. That's cool. I'm grateful for anyone that just stops by and shows the love. 19 likes. That's cool. So yeah, I do appreciate you guys showing up each stream and getting involved. If you've got any questions or you want me to look at anything else, go ahead, ask me, and I'll do my best. Otherwise, I'm just going to be watching the charts like you guys and listening to music. I got my Spotify subscription back up again, so should be able to start coming across new music. And I've had the urge recently to get back into making music. I've done a little bit of it in the past, but yeah, I just want to make some real basic beats, just kind of like what you're hearing now, like slow tempo, relaxed, not too complicated. It seems to be good for talking over. It's for streams because it's not too distracting. Oh, GameStop, okay. Yeah, let's have a look at GameStop. The old pump stock. I've certainly got it on my watch list. So GME, there it is. Let's go macro to begin with. So weekly chart, this is where that roaring kitty situation, street bets. Very wild. It's produced a lot of decent rallies. I mean, these are, you could say this is like pumping and dumping, really. So this was a huge pump, dumped straight back out, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump. Yeah, you can see that. But right now, it does seem to be at some level of consolidation. It's been, the volatility has definitely wound right down. And yeah, I think there is potential here, just looking at the structure, for, a move up. as far as like the weekly time frame is concerned, like it's, you know, by no means are we in overbought or even close to overbought. It's not even neutral, right? So yeah, there is potential overhead. Yeah, it's your type of music too, hey, honest. Yeah. Pretty relaxing. Let me open up, hopefully this doesn't crash the stream. I'm going to open up Ableton, which is the program that I use for making music, or that I will be using for making music. I've been playing around with making beats, and I really like the tempo of the song that's playing right now, so I've been trying to like recreate that. I'll show you what I've got so far. Sorry if that's a bit loud. So that's like that's the foundation, I think, of making that kind of music at that pace. I think the kick drum's probably a little bit loud. Reduce that volume. The hi-hat and the rim shot. Yeah, the next part's going to be like bringing in the vinyl crackle, like the crackling sound that sounds like it's coming off of a record player, a turntable, and then also obviously the piano, noodling around on the piano. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Turn this back on. And there's a lot of effects that have to be applied, obviously, to the drums and everything to get it sounding to this quality. So that's it's kind of what I'm going to be doing to like kill time while we're waiting for the market to pick up. But let's go to the S&P 500 actually, SPY. And if we go on the daily and zoom out, you can see we're at like we're at a very critical point on this descending trend here. And on the support side, you can see there's this trend line here, which is kind of like an expanding megaphone, right? Like a downward expanding megaphone. But then there's also these two pivots here, which produce this line, which could be seen as like a falling wedge. So the expected move out of a falling wedge, or the textbook move, is a break out to the upside. So if we, you know, let's just sort of theorize here. If we get really positive news, let's say inflation, the inflation data comes out, so CPI comes out, and it pulls in a 6.5%, which means inflation came down a whole bit, like bunch again, right? That could be enough catalyst to get us breaking out of this overall bearish trend that we've been stuck under since the all-time high of the S&P, right? So yeah, it's something optimistic to consider, you know? Obviously the pessimistic, like the more bearish outlook here would be that we get rejected off this trend and rally back down again before testing, say, the bottom again here. And, you know, maybe that takes us into, like, say, the middle of next year before we break out. That could happen as well. But I think it's awesome that we've even come up close to testing the top here again, because things have been so bleak and dire lately. You know, inflation getting out of control and interest rates going up as a reaction to that, and the whole, you know, Russia-Ukraine situation as well. But yeah, I guess moving forward, we just have to wait and see what the charts produce. And yeah, make decisions based off that accordingly. A good thing for the, you know, as far as the bull perspective is concerned, we've come in lower now than this pivot here on the DXY. So just trying to see where the next support structure would be. Like, you know, maybe there's a bit of support here and down here. So if you bring that, if you extend this out, those points there, that gives us support at around 103.50 and then $101 or 101.30. I don't think that's dollars, but whatever. Yeah, so there's a bit of structure from the left that may provide support for the DXY, but yeah, the DXY, there's no doubt about it. It's on a corrective trend right now. It's come out of that parabolic move, thank God. And here we are. I've noticed that these two songs start very similar. Have you noticed that too? So this one and this one. Like the same chord. How did Bitcoin go? Pretty heavy correction off that initial move. Bet you that's a 786 retest from that low. Oh, not quite. Almost. Well, if you take it from here, yeah. So off that impulsive move up, finding support at the 786 level. Yeah, TA on the 1 minute. I guess when price is moving fast, sometimes you do have to jump back to the 1 minute just to see what it's doing in the shorter time frame, you know? Because things are happening so quickly. They kind of get hidden. If you're on the 1 hour, you can't really see where it's been inside of that candle because it's all wick and candle in one candle. So you have to sort of go down in the time frames to get a bit more resolution. But yeah, it's a bizarre move up. It looks like it may have been a liquidity grab. Or like, you know, a bull trap of sorts. Just trying to figure out where the resistance comes from. I mean, we hit a similar, pretty much the same high here, 17,048.99. So basically 17,050. Yeah, 17,049.45 there. Yeah, a lot of games are being played on these smaller time frames. Stop hunts, liquidation hunts. You know, it's got it all. All right. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. We'll see how this pennant ended up around this time tomorrow. So I'll jump on a stream tomorrow morning or tomorrow night for you guys. And yeah, until then, take care of yourselves and stay safe in your trades. And I'll catch you on the next one. All right. See ya.